it has been a little bit since we last talked about this, so let's talk about it. And what I want to discuss is this whole Bud Light situation and giving a little more perspective because they're still losing. And I know we had our time with the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing, the backlash. We've talked about this time and time again. They had crater after crater, or rather sales had just continued to go down in the wrong direction. Recently, they entered a deal with UFC. And this is coming from Fox Business. Bud Light parent company, Anheuser-Busch, InBev's sales tumble further. So, saying on Tuesday reported a staggering 13.5% decline in U.S. revenue in the third quarter as the company's Bud Light brand continues to suffer in the country after a controversial partnership. And that's, of course, with Mulvaney. Sales of Bud Light began to tumble in the U.S. in April, not long after the brand created and sent custom beer to Mulvaney to mark 365 days of girlhood. The global brewing conglomerate also reported 17.1% decline in North American sales volume during the third quarter. Its North American sales fell 14.5% in the prior quarter when Bud Light brand lost its long-standing title as the best-selling beer in the U.S. And after being eclipsed by Modelo. Outside North America, InBev experienced growth. So this is interesting. In roughly 80% of its markets, including Middle Americas and Africa. So they're really getting hurt coming out of North America as InBev attempts to rehabilitate the Bud Light brand's image in North American market, or in the North American market. The company recently scored a victory of its own over Modelo after replacing the Mexican lager as the official beer partner. Now I want to know what you guys think. And we've talked about this on stream, but I haven't done a video yet. They entered in that deal. I think it was more of a Hail Mary, considering how popular definitely the UFC brand is, really worldwide, but especially in North America. This was their way to say, hey, man, we got to give it a shot to try to revitalize this brand. So they know that they have a problem. However, the problem is still the problem, and it doesn't seem to be recovering. And I think that, to me, is the more important thing to take from this whole ordeal. It's not that they just saw a decline. It's that this is one of the rarest instances where Americans really just said no, and they stuck to it. Instead of forgetting, using the nostalgia bait, and just going back to go support the same guys, this was one of the rare instances where that held. And now the brand is also associated with, you're going to be made fun of for consuming, let's say, Bud Light. It's very Bud Light of you in the event that you do something that people consider GHEY, gay, or just regular gay. Nonetheless, guys, you need to understand this is important. Anybody that ever said that, hey, you were not powerful, you had no power because of this and that and all these other external factors. No, you do. You can hit these guys where they hurt, and that's their pockets. And they'll start to straighten up and fly right. And in the event that they don't straighten up and fly right, okay, let them go down. There's nothing wrong with that. As you guys have found out, there's other beers for you guys. I don't drink. So you guys that do drink beer, there's other better beers perhaps. You don't have to consume Anheuser-Busch products or Bud Light. So this is a victory, I think, for the people out there who think that, well, the only source of change has to come from the government. And it doesn't. It does take a lot of work. It does take you having to be able to take a step back and say you're not going to give these idiots money because you don't owe them your money anyway. But that's the important thing. They're still losing. They are still losing.